Ayrıca teşekkür ediyorum. Toplantımızın Filistinli kardeşlerimizle birlikte
Also, thank you.
İslam dünyası için
I wish our meeting to be instrumental and good for the whole Islamic world with our Palestinian brothers. As an Islamic world, at our summit today, we have clearly demonstrated our solidarity with the Palestinian people. We will rivet this message of solidarity with the decisions that we will receive and put into practice. Since October 7th, the words have been ineffective to describe what happened in Gaza and Ramallah. We are faced with an unprecedented barbarism on the date when hospitals, places of worship, schools, refugee camps, and ambulances were bombed. In innocent bodies in the hospital corridors, children lined up in row, mothers who give life to their sons, who cannot be liked to smell, and the fathers who are looking for family members with their hands in the debris. The lives that go directly in the attacks targeting civilians are not enough for 36 days. The revenge of the October incident is removed from Gaza infants, from Palestinian innocent children and women. It is not possible to put the Hamas insurgents who defend their homeland and the invaders in the same calf. Our brothers and sisters of the West Bank are negatively affected by the attacks of Israeli forces and occupying settlers. According to the United Nations, 73% of the 12,000 Palestinians murdered in Gaza and Ramallah are women and children. There is no side of this state of insanity that can be defended or excused. Western countries, which do not put human rights and freedoms from their language, are embarrassing to silence in the face of ongoing massacres in Palestine. 12,000 people died in Gaza. Almost all of Gaza was destroyed. But these countries do not even call for fire to Israel. About 20,000 people died in the case of Hepto and the presidents of the world states and government presidents walking in Paris. More than 12,000 newspaper people are currently dying, but none of them move. This is not only helplessness, but also cowardice and scrupulousness. In the face of the persecution, the Susans are common to the blood-flowing as much as the wrongdoers. America and Western countries supposedly sacrificed their values to the ambitions of the Israeli administration. The decision accepted by 121 yes votes in the United Nations General Assembly has shown how lonely the Israeli and its supporters are lonely. Unlike other crises, it has a stance in unity and solidarity. I would like to congratulate other countries that have endeavored to stop conflicts like us and to bring humanitarian aid to the region. We sent 10 aircraft full of humanitarian aid materials to El Aris Airport to be delivered to Gaza in cooperation with our Egyptian brothers. Yesterday, a total of 666 tons of humanitarian aid material, our civilian ship set out. I hope today will have reached El Aris port. Cancer patients and children. We also continue our studies on the treatment of the wounded. On November 15th, under the auspices of my wife, with the participation of the spouses of the heads of state and government, our preparations for the meeting will be held in Istanbul. Our first priority in the stage reached is to provide fire and to deliver humanitarian aid uninterruptedly. The emergency is not a few hours of chapters, but permanent fire. United Nations Palestinian Special Rapporteur French Albanese Israeli attacks 4 hours of time to break the decision is cynical and cruel. We are approaching the decision in the same way. In addition, humanitarian aid should be performed uninterruptedly and continuously. It is vital to deliver fuel to places in urgent need, especially in hospitals. The United Nations Humanitarian Work Coordination Office likens the north of the newspaper, where the aid trucks are not delivered. All organization member states. Let's give the necessary support to our Egyptian brothers. The welfare border gate should keep it open continuously. We must strive to ask the account of the crimes of war and humanity committed by Israel before the law. These should be examined by the United Nations Human Rights Council and the International Criminal Court, and necessary procedures should be initiated about those responsible. In the same way, the issue of nuclear weapons confessed by the ministers of Israel should be investigated. Such a subject with the potential to threaten the survival of not only our region but also all humanity should not be allowed. Another critical issue is compensation, the factor that makes Israel more reckless every time. It is that it does not compensate for the damage it gives to the people it occupies, burned, destroyed, and persecuted its territory. The Israeli administration, which acts as a spoiled child of the West, has to compensate for its destruction. As the Islamic world, we cannot leave our Palestinian brothers unattended and helpless. We believe that a fund should be established within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in order to restore Gaza. As Turkey, I would like to know that we will not refrain from providing all kinds of support to the construction and revelation of Gaza. This crisis is on the Palestinian issue. The fact that we make the permanent solution a mediocre is exposed to. As the Palestinian issue is ignored, normalization efforts in the region are doomed to remain current. The way to permanent solution to the problem is to eliminate the main reasons. This is only possible with the establishment of the dominant and geographical integrity of the East Jerusalem, the capital of East Jerusalem and the borders of 1967. We believe that the International Peace Conference we have brought up will provide the most appropriate ground for this. It is also seen that new mechanisms are needed to guarantee the security of our Palestinian brothers. In this context, we are ready to make the necessary efforts, including guarantor for the protection of peace to be threatened. Permanent peace will ensure the peace and well-being of the whole region, including the Palestinians, but the people of Israel. Dear brothers and sisters, the first Qibla, the Masjid Aqsa of the Haram and historical static in the face of the violation of the violation. It is highly likely that Israel will make emissions against the Harem-i-Sharif knowing the opportunity. The voicing of the promised lands that threaten the territorial integrity of many countries in the region, including Turkey, is the clearest proof of this. As I always said, Jerusalem is our red line. It is our wish that Jerusalem, known as the City of Peace, has the old days of Jerusalem and all Palestinian territory. We hope that our Palestinian brothers will leave behind the separations between them and defend their rights in unity and solidarity. I say that my Lord will be our assistant and assistant. While ending my words with these thoughts, he commemorates our brothers who were martyred in Palestine with mercy. I wish the wounded painful healing. I would like to ask my Lord that our summit meeting is a means of good for all humanity, especially the Islamic world. Thank you.